morning, Monday, August 4th, 8:01 a.m. I am tired. Oh, my dumbass stayed up way too late last night playing PlayStation. That was like 2:30. Out here for the day. I am online with Uber Eats and Grubhub for right now. DoorDash, my schedule starts at 8:30, so I can go online at 8:15 with DoorDash. So that's for right now. I'm just making my way over towards my area and hoping I get something along the way. It's Monday morning. It's slow season, so not expecting much, but you never know. So, had a nice little weekend. Took the wife and daughter to county fair. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Lord. Not this county that I live in, but the county south of us. It's a small little fair. But it's $10 entry and it's unlimited rides. So that's pretty cool. So Peyton went on a bunch of rides. She got her foot-long corn dog that she always gets at the fair. Got some lemonade. Had a nice time. Yesterday I did work. I made like $175 in like 6 hours. It was actually a really good Sunday. Didn't turn the camera on though, but I am today. But it's a Monday, so it might not be that busy. So bear with me. But I'm on schedule for most of the day on DoorDash, I believe. So for a profitable day. I'll let you know when I get something. First order of the day, IHOP. $7.58 for 7.1 miles. Not really good, but not good at all. But it's going to be quiet out here this morning, I can already tell. This is the only offer I've gotten. Oh, there was one other Grubhub offer. This is a Grubhub, by the way. The other one I got was 16 something for 21 miles, all the way out in Belvedere. So obviously you declined that one. It's 8:28 a.m. First order of the day. Get this charger in here. First order of the day. As I said, it's not good, but it'll get the ball rolling at least. Maybe we'll get lucky, get something right at drop off. We'll see. I'll let you know. Alright, well, I dropped that off, and as I was passing by the Napa store, Napa sent me an offer that I now regret taking. Rotors. For those of you that don't know or aren't familiar, rotors are heavy bitches. It was like $13.50 for 9 miles. They do a lot of transfers. This is going to the other Napa store that is like 9 miles north of here. Most of the Napa orders I get are going to that store, so I usually pick up from this Napa store just to take it to the other Napa store. But I haven't had to do rotors in a while. But I guess that streak comes to an end today. I almost just dropped it when I saw them wheeling the rotors because they're so heavy. You got to put them. You got to put them on a cart, like wheel them out to your car. I mean, they're not heavy, but they're heavy enough to where you don't want to fuck with it. But anyways, got a nice little drive ahead of us. GPS says 19 minutes. Up north we go. Welcome back. Update time, 10:16 a.m. I finished that Napa order. Drove all the way basically across town back to my spot. I did get one more offer like not long after I dropped that off, $5 for 4.2 miles for Taco Bell. But it was taking me even further away than where I was. I was pretty far away from my zone or from my spot. So I declined that just because, I mean, it's $5 for 4 miles, no thanks. But I drove all the way back to my spot. I sat there for about 5 to 10 minutes and got nothing. At that point, it was about close to 9:30, I believe. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home and take care of a couple things at the house, and come back out when lunch starts at around 11. So I did get all the way back to my house. I forgot to take the trash out this morning, so I'm glad I did. So I pulled into the driveway to set the trash out. As soon as I pulled into the driveway, I got a Taco Bell, $6.25 for, I think it was like 2.8 miles. I was like, all right, well, what the hell? I'll just go ahead and accept it. So I took it, dropped it off, started making my way back to the house again. Got another Taco Bell, $8 for 3 miles. Of course, I accepted that one. I just dropped that off. And before I dropped that off, I got an Uber. Nothing crazy, but $7.12 for 5 miles. Papa John's. Excuse me. I had a McGriddle. And a bacon McGriddle. And a small little chunk of bacon, like, went down the wrong pipe. I've been coughing my lungs up for the last 10 minutes. But anyway. So this is going to put me at like 40 something. Was it 625, 13, carry the one. I was at like 2050. I did the 625, so we'll call it 2675. And that is the $8. We'll call it 34.75. And now this is $7. So 41 bucks and change, almost 42 bucks. This will put me at well before 11. So I'm going to hit my goal when I didn't think I was going to. So that's good. For those of you that don't know, my goal is 40 bucks by 11 a.m. I typically start my day at around 8 o'clock. The goal doesn't mean anything. It's basically just like a gauge as to how well the day's going. That's really all it is. I know I've made 20 bucks by 11 o'clock before and still ended up making $100 by 2 o'clock, which is my secondary goal. So because typically if I can hit 40 by 11, on those days generally means it's going to be busy enough to where I'll be able to hit $100 by 2 o'clock. And then I determine whether or not it's busy enough to stay out through the kind of between lunch and dinner hours, because it's typically between like 2 and 4, kind of slows down quite a bit. Some days it doesn't. Most of the time it's, you might get 1 or 2 offers or 1 or 2 orders in that time that I actually accept. Other times it stays busy the whole time and I'm driving all over town delivering. So we'll see how it plays out today. Pulling up to Papa John's here in a second. We're going to pick this up. All right. Once again, I forgot to keep you guys updated on what's going on. Don't quite recall where I left off. But let me try to give you a rundown. I did those 2 Taco Bell orders, correct? Yes. And then I did the Papa John's order and put me over 40. All right. After that, I got a Jimmy John's order, $10.55 for 5.3 miles, thereabouts, something like that from Uber. Took care of that. Moseyed my way all the way back up to my spot. Got a nice Olive Garden order, $12.43 for 4.1 miles or something like that. Completed that. Did a Chipotle, $7.50 for 4.1 miles on DoorDash. Knocked that out. Immediately got another DoorDash, $9 for 4.4 miles. Handled that. Then I got a Mary's Market, $8.50 for 5.1 miles. Completed that. One moment. All right, so I did that Mary's Market, $8.50 for 5.1 miles. Headed back to my spot. Right when I got there, I got a Noodles and Company, $10 for 4.9 miles. That put me about 93 bucks. And then I just got this one that I just dropped off. Small one, $5 for 1.6 miles. It's supposed to be a small, quick one. But I waited 10 minutes for it. It was kind of annoying. It was a bit annoying, but I did get there quick. Like, I was literally around the corner from the restaurant when I accepted it. So I got there in like less than a minute. So it's not totally on them. But, so yeah, that puts me around 98 bucks. We're at 12.55. I am about to get knocked off of my schedule, because my schedule on DoorDash ends at 1. It's not letting me extend it. I think My next block starts at 2. Sorry about that. I actually got a good Uber offer that interrupted me. Pretty good. $7.83 for 3.4 miles. So basically like exactly $2 per mile. This put us at 105, maybe 106 if you can't add up all the change. And it is 12:56 p.m. So pretty good day for a Monday. Hell yeah. Wasn't expecting this. So I've been basically nonstop. So good things. I don't know if I'm gonna take a little break here or not. We'll see. I'm gonna have like an hour of downtime with DoorDash, so maybe Uber and Grubhub can keep me busy. Grubhub hasn't been sending me anything really though, so I'd probably be leaning on Uber Eats, but we'll see. I really don't want to go home. I really want to just stay out and suck it up and make as much as I can, but I also don't, want to stay out from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock and get 2 or 3 orders. It's not really worth that. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how busy it feels. Good evening. It is 6:27 in the p.m. I have a different shirt on because I ordered Jersey Mike's and I got sandwich all over myself for lunch. I came back out 5:30, a little after 5:30, maybe. I went home at about 1:15 after lunch. I was at approximately $113, $114 probably. And I ended up just staying home until dinner time. Maybe it was a mistake because it has been dead at dinner. I finally just got one that I didn't really want to take, but I've literally been sitting out here for almost an hour. $11, 4.7 miles, double order for, but it's the same restaurant, both from the Hachi Sushi place. So I'm passing it right now. I don't know how long I'm going to be out. I might just do this order and just call it a day because it's just dead. Dead. Unless it seems to pick up after I drop these off, which by then it'll be after 7 o'clock and probably about 7. And I don't see it getting any busier, but we'll see. So we'll roll into Hachi Sushi here and see what it's all about. Pulling into Hachi Sushi. This place, I've mentioned before in previous videos that it is notorious for long waits. But last month or so, or a few weeks at least, they have been a lot better. Sometimes that happens with restaurants. Let me know how that is in your market, if that happens to you, or you might have a place that you really dread picking up from, and then all of a sudden it just seems like they start getting their act together. I wonder if that's DoorDash getting on them for long wait times. I feel like it is, because there's been a couple other places, I can't think of where they're at offhand, where they seem to, actually Panda Express, which I've been complaining about lately, taking forever. Lately, they've had everything ready the last couple of weeks, everything ready when I get there. So I wonder if DoorDash just and these delivery apps are getting on their case about long wait times. I have a feeling that's the case, because just all of a sudden with the flip of a switch, they're all, because Panda Express used to be one of the best pickups because it was always ready. Then all of a sudden, like the last 6 months, you would get there and they wouldn't even have looked at it yet, and there'd be like a line wrapped around the whole restaurant. You know, it's cafeteria style at Panda Express, and there'd just be a line of people. And they would serve like 20 people before they'd even start doing the DoorDash orders. While you have like 4 or 5 DoorDashers just sitting there. So I don't know. Let me know if you experienced that in your market at all. If like maybe you have a less desirable restaurant to pick up from that all of a sudden just kind of gets their act together, and all of a sudden it becomes one of your better restaurants to pick up from, or vice versa. Maybe you have a few spots, which I do. That Panera, one of them, where it used to be, automatically ready almost every time you got there. Then all of a sudden they just fell off, and now you're waiting for orders all the time. So Let me know what restaurants those are for you if you do encounter those issues. All right, both orders were ready. I did get notifications that both orders were ready to be picked up before I got here, so that's always nice. Like I said, they're on top of things all of a sudden. I used to have to wait 10, 15 minutes almost every time I was here. Sometimes longer. This first order is literally going to this Comfort Inn right across the parking lot. That's Hachi Sushi right there. So, room 202. I think I've only delivered to this Comfort Inn like one time, which is kind of crazy because I've delivered to all these hotels so many times that this one I almost never get orders for. But let's go get this dropped off. Comfort Inn, seen better days. Dirty window here. Pool actually looks somewhat clean. Looks like there's some floor tiles missing at the bottom of the pool. It's hard to see it through the weird window. I mean, Comfort Inns are usually okay. How would we consider this okay? Excuse me. Get outside here before I start talking shit. Yeah, Comfort Inns. To me, they're a choice hotel, I believe, right? With like Quality Inn and all those other ones. I feel like those are usually like a step above, like a Days Inn or a Super 8 or a Motel 6. It's like the next level up. I've stayed in some Comfort Inns. Most of them have been okay. They've been fine. They're not fancy or anything, but most of them are relatively clean and well kept. This one, however, is not. It's unfortunate. I've delivered there before. I've only been in there, I think, one time. And that was that other time I delivered there. That was probably a couple years ago, too. I don't remember it being so run down. Maybe it was, but I noticed it right away. Like, the grass isn't cut. And it feels like people are living there. Ugh. Whenever there's people living in a hotel, that's usually a bad sign. I actually stayed back where I grew up, a couple hours away from here. I went down to where I grew up for a funeral and stayed at this La Quinta Inn. La Quinta is kind of the same level as like Comfort Inn or whatever. But I had stayed there previously when I went down there to visit or whatever. But it had been several years since I'd actually stayed at this hotel. I got it for like $45. I was like, wow. You used to pay like $60 or $70 for this. I got it for $45. And the reviews were like still okay. Like 7.0. Not good, but like decent enough. And I had stayed there so many times previously. I'm like, oh, how bad could it be? And I got there and I was like, ugh. I think it's only for one night. There's people living there and it was some meth heads out in the parking lot. It was pretty sketchy. It had gone downhill, that's for sure. So, but whatever. Got one of them dropped off. One more to go. I've got no Uber or no Grubhub offers while I've been making these deliveries, so that tells me it's not gotten any busier, but we'll see. Where am I at here? Alright, went back to my spot after dropping off that double order. Sat there for 5 minutes or so. Got a Chipotle order from Grubhub. $8.10 for 6.5 miles or something like that. I went ahead and took it because it brought me to a different hot zone. Try my luck up here. It's a little bit smaller zone. Maybe there'll be less drivers. Maybe a little bit busier. But we'll see. So we are at like $133, I think. Yeah, about $133. That's all we make today. I'll be content with that. But I want to get to at least $150 before I go home. But Can only do that if the orders come in. Welcome back to Fat Cam. So I did that Chipotle, the Grubhub. Got another Chipotle for DoorDash. I just completed that, $8.49 for 4.8 miles. As I was delivering that, or on the way to deliver that, I got an Uber Eats for the same Chipotle, $10.27 for 5.2 miles. So now we are making our way back to that Chipotle. Actually, we're about to pull in. Good morning. It's obviously the next day. Turned out to be a decent day yesterday, considering I didn't work from 1 till 5:30 basically. I still ended up pulling in. I apologize. Had to reject a bad Grubhub order. I still did $160 yesterday. I didn't work from 1 to 5:30, and then when I did come out at 5:30, I didn't get anything until like 6:30. A couple bad offers on Uber, but it was almost dead quiet. And then I got a Grubhub that pulled me further north into a different area of town, and that seemed to do the trick, because once I got up there, I started getting offers up there in a smaller hot zone, and then that kept me busy for a good hour and a half. I ended up making almost $40 in that span. All of them were Chipotle orders. I took 3 or 4 Chipotle orders back to back to back. So yeah, not a bad Monday really. $160 isn't bad for a Monday, especially during slow season. So we're out here again. It's just after 8 a.m. About to head out for the day on a Tuesday. Not expecting it to be busy. Probably going to be slower than yesterday. Yesterday wasn't slow by any means, especially lunch. It was pretty solid. But if I can make 150 today, I'll be thrilled. So if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, comment. Tell your friends about the videos. Share my videos. And appreciate you for watching. And we will see you next time.